Are you ready?
Kick it.
Oh, that's my line.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do it. Welcome to the Hardheaded podcast. I am Matt Amos, pronounced correctly, and with me is Troy, 3-shot, and Mr. Chet, last place shotgun Sears.
Like the store.
Like the store.
Hey, we'll go shoot again. Say when.
Win.
Let's go.
Now.
All right.
We got to
We'll be
finish
there.
this, though.
We'll do it.
What in the world has been going through my head?
So now you're taking my job. I get okay, that's fine.
Oh, you're actually prepared this time.
I
You read some emails?
No, I looked at my notes that I printed off about 10 minutes ago. I have a habit. I mean, it's a recurring theme.
Being hard-headed.
Yeah.
It's a hard
Well,
habit to break.
I'm being practical because a lot of this stuff technically really doesn't require.
Let's be realistic here. Matt's not going to do his homework.
And that's okay. That's okay.
It is amazing that I did have a 4.0 in college and graduated with honors from high school.
Got a trophy for those?
Yeah.
I did. I made my own. But yes, Troy, since we want to jump the gun, what, sir, is on your mind?
Well, a lot of things are on my mind.
You're not going to cry, are you?
Is it me?
No.
You look at me like I'm about to lose it.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm hard-headed about crying. I
Okay.
don't cry. There's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in podcasting.
Okay.
I had something, and I just lost it.
Start crying. Start crying. Get emotional, and then the silence will be even more.
No, I
awkward.
mean, the last few weeks, y'all have gotten pretty serious about things going on in the world.
Yeah.
But I feel like my world is a lot smaller
Simple?
and simpler.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's been on my mind recently is my kids and their school.
Yeah.
So we have been fortunate enough to be in school, but the kids are
5 days a week.
5 days a week. But they're having to wear the mask all day. And I tell you what, I wore that mask for an hour and a half yesterday in a meeting in a closed room, and I don't see how they do it.
Yeah.
Like, kudos to those kids out there going to school like they have to.
Absolutely. Well, and the teachers for having to,
Yeah.
any kid under, let's say 10, trying to keep that mask on them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So just my heart goes out to them.
But you're like, you're still going to be in school. Yeah, wear a mask, wear a blindfold, wear something. As long as you're still going to school, we'll do it.
If they're having the doors open and they're going to make them wear masks, then we're going to go to school.
Yep.
As much as, like, I don't really care for the masks, you know.
I'd say it's been a struggle at our house with kids and not being in school. So the school district that they're in, they shut it down pretty early. They had a hybrid model and then shut it down pretty early. And then, man, that home business is not good. Been hearing bad things about just the average grades are horrible. And our kids started back up with hybrid, which is good, you know, after the Christmas break. So they were the night that they announced that they're going back to that schedule, kids were super stoked. And it's just a couple days a week, but still just being able to see people and interact and not just be home.
That's an important part of your development.
Yeah.
As a kid, is being able to socialize.
Yeah.
You know, with other kids. I mean, I would say it's just as important as the education.
Yep.
You know, and my kids were in our school district. We were fortunate enough to be in-person classes with the same guidelines, you know, wear a mask, and, you know, the desks are 6 feet apart, you know, and my wife works at the school as well, which is good, you know, because she's there when the kids are there and she's home when the kids are home. But I was really, really impressed with our school district because I was looking online, you know, when school started and looking at social media and seeing that all these school districts that didn't have a plan, you know, we're talking, you know, a week, 2 weeks before school started, they didn't know whether they were going to be in class or online or whether they were going to do a hybrid model. a month before school started, I had a written detailed plan from the superintendent of the district that said, here's how we're going to roll. We're going to do in-person classes. Here's how we're going to do it. Here's the precautionary measures that we're taking. Here's what you need to do. Here's what your kids need to do. And then here's what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. And I was so extremely impressed with our school district. And I knew 100% that when I retired from the military and we chose to move back, we could have moved anywhere in the world. And people said, well, why did you move to Kansas? And my wife and I both went to the same school growing up. And our kids are in that exact same school district. It's a smaller district, so they don't have the huge issues, like you have with trying to wrangle people here, in towns, where you have big cities and lots of kids. Yeah. We really don't have those issues, but I knew at that point in time, I was like, we moved back here, made that decision for our kids, and it was the absolute right choice.
That's a good deal. And two, I think, being in a much larger school district, there's a whole lot of posturing going on with administration and how they look according to the state school folks. Sure. And it's just been a nightmare for us, and our kids are just caught in the middle of it and hasn't been good. So, And I don't know. Are your kids doing sports?
No.
Do they have, but is the school, do they have?
Oh, is the school doing it? Yeah, they are doing it. They had for football season, they just had, minimal, only family members could come watch the games, and there was only a certain number of family members that could come and that sort of thing. So,
they're doing sports.
They did sports. Yeah. Still doing sports, but it's extremely limited on attendance. And then they're webcasting some of them, and wow,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Technology's gone backwards, but
last week, sports not to watch would be broadcasting high school football.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm right there with you, man. That's on a lot of people's minds. I know a lot of people that listen to us are struggling with that as well. But I think along the same lines of what Matt talked about on a good word a while back, this is a contentious thing, and trying to be positive and reaching out. And I've been one that has reached out and being appreciative, even people that I don't agree with the direction they've gone, with the Board of Education or whatever. But to say, I appreciate you, and I know that you wouldn't be sitting there if you knew what was coming in 2020. So nobody really volunteered to lead. Yeah, especially you look at our school boards and those kinds of folks. Everybody would just hit that eject button if they knew what was coming up in 2020. And there's some genuine. I don't know if I would have made all the right decisions the first time through either. With what knowledge was there and all that. So there needs to be some grace applied
absolutely
in our interactions with the folks, even if we adamantly disagree with them. But that's where also I think we need to hold them accountable, but do it in a polite way.
Yeah, they can't help where we're at, and they're doing the best that they can, and they're doing the best with what they think in their mind is best for the kids.
Yep.
And so huge shout out to all the educators out there during this time with what they have to deal with and everything that they're doing to keep it as normal as possible for these kids, even in
it's hard in a normal year.
Even in difficult situations, and fortunately for us on the sports side of things, we were able to attend football games, and there really weren't any regulations until we got to district play and then state play. But and we did win state championship this year.
Hey, good job.
Very good.
So looking back on my top 3 sports to watch from a previous episode, I think that I might put high school football because
Friday Night Lights.
Because growing up in the hometown and going back and watching those games, and now that I've got guys, because we're a small school, so guys that I went to school with and their kids are now on the football team. Their kids are playing football, and then I ran track with one guy, and his kid's phenomenal.
Yeah,
and then the head coach of the football team is a kid that I went and ran track with.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's fun. So I should have put that probably in my top 3 on the last episode whenever we did the sports.
You can't amend it, man. I'm sorry. It's sealed. It's in the can. It's over.
We'll have to do a new one. But
top 3 mistakes I've made in the top 3 list.
That might be a good one for a future episode. That's what happens when you do it on the fly. You know, you really don't have time to sit down and think a lot.
Yeah. I hear you, man.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
That's what's been on my mind.
Speaking of top, are you trying to take my job now too? I mean, I'm looking at my little list here and it says, I guess it just says intro. It doesn't say the particular host. But I thought we were doing a round robin so that.
Hey, Matt, why don't you host this week?
Thanks, Troy.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that, man.
What is this episode? Who's our sponsor?
Do we have one?
Admiral's Pennant.
Oh, yeah, we do have Admiral's Pennant. But I think the people don't want to hear any more about that.
Okay.
Because.
Just so you know, if you go to admiralspennant.com, you could see the different beard oils that are offered. And my favorite one is 1815 followed by 1843. FYI.
There you go.
Anybody's interested.
So, going back again to the books, which I think was our first episode. I couldn't think of the date. It was 1843 when he was on the ship.
Which was the first,
the
original scent that you developed?
Yes, the U.S. frigate United States.
I'm like an Admiral's Pennant historian.
You know more about it than I do. So
put it on my resume.
Chet Melville Sears.
Well, I claim brain injury.
Yeah.
That's why I can't remember anything. That's my go-to. Whenever I can't remember, it's brain injury. But yeah, so anyway, we got a little off track there. Let's get back on track with the top 3 for this week.
Boom.
Which is going to be what?
TV shows.
Did you send that out?
Yeah.
Top 3 TV shows.
So I'm going to be doing this one on the fly.
Shows.
Your favorite.
Well, I'll go first.
Top 3.
I'll go first. So you can think about your top 3. Number 1.
Oh, here we go.
Number 1. Seinfeld.
Saw that one coming.
It's the best TV show of all time. Why? Why? Oh, you want to know why?
No,
It's not only hilarious, it's a comedy that never departed from being a comedy. You look at any other sitcom out there, they're going to try to jerk some tears out of you at some point in time with some whatever, take themselves way too seriously and get some drama mixed in there. Seinfeld never, ever did that. In fact, made fun of it. They ridiculed and mocked the TV industry by like the airplane going down. Jerry, I got something to tell you. Not giving you that satisfaction, audience. We're a comedy and we're not going to be any no drama. And
that's good.
Just about everything that happens in life from here on out is already covered by a Seinfeld episode. So probably one of my most frequented phrases is, there's a Seinfeld episode about that. Like, oh my gosh, Seinfeld episode about that. So anyway, Seinfeld number 1.
And if you're friends with Chet on any social media platform, you're going to get a meme or a GIF of.
I think it's a GIF.
GIF.
Whatever.
It's spelled GIF.
I honestly can carry out an entire conversation with Seinfeld GIFs via text. Like you could ask me a question and I could reply with a GIF, and then you could ask me a different question. I could do a different GIF.
Can you say GIF?
No.
Because when you say GIF, it sounds like gift.
That's what it is, man.
It's not a gift.
It's a GIF.
It's
not. GIF.
I understand that it's graphic something or other, but whatever. Anyway, I don't want to interrupt your top 3.
The President of the United States clarified it, and I'm going with it.
Leave a comment below. Is it GIF or GIF?
The current president?
It was Obama. And I'll be honest with you. I've disagreed with Obama on a lot of things. Not this.
You're with him.
I got behind him on this. I was confused, and he just came out and said it, and he's like, "No, this is how it is." And I'm like, "Okay, I could get behind that kind of leadership." He did. He's like, "Oh, there's a lot of debate, blah blah," but it's actually okay, Mr. President.
Did he write an executive order?
No, he just had to say it, man. Okay. And I'm like,
now I would have to respect it if it was an executive order, but since it's not,
whatever.
That clears it up.
I'm going to go with GIF.
So, and I'll tell you right now, the comments are going to come in. They're going to bag me. I just know it.
We'll see about that.
Number 2, I'm taking a little liberty. This was a mini series, but it was made for TV. Lonesome Dove. Lonesome Dove. absolutely fantastic. I mean,
Robert Duvall at his finest.
Duvall, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, Glover. They're all in there. I'm telling you, fantastic TV show.
I don't even know if I can talk about it.
You're not. So, Troy, I don't know if you know this or not, but Matt is a fan of Lonesome Dove. However, for the last 3 times you've watched it,
yes,
the next day is a very bad day in Matt Amos's life.
So, to tell the story,
let's hear this.
The very first time that I watched it, it was on TV.
Right.
So, I can't remember what year that was, but it had to be early 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Mid 80s, maybe. And my grandmother, great-grandmother, was in the hospital, and we finished the series, passed away.
Wow.
So the connection to me in that movie, going down the road, I didn't want to watch it again because I was
reminded of your great grandma.
Yeah, well, I was an impressionable young kid. Mm-hmm. That was kind of my first experience with death, and so I didn't watch it for a long, long time.
But enjoyed it. Knew it was good.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was great, you know. But so I was on my second deployment, which was 2006 in Iraq. And one of my fellow Marines had Lonesome Dove on DVD. And back then we had the little Polaroid,
the little
portable DVD players.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, shoot, let me get that. I'm going to watch that. You know, I need something to, you know, remind me of back home, you know? And so fired it up, watched the whole thing, which I think it was 3 episodes on TV.
That was a little bit more than that, I think.
Was it? But
quite a few.
I finished them. And then the very next day I got blown up. My point man was killed, and that was that. So that was the day after. So I went on another hiatus.
Like, I'm done with Lonesome Dove.
Right.
Like, this has got to be cursed, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not a superstitious kind of guy. But I was in, let's see, so that was 2006. This time I gave it about a 5-year hiatus. And I said, I was in Afghanistan. And sure enough, I fired it up. I watched the series. I get pumped up. Love the movie. Next day I got blown up and lost my legs.
Oh my God.
So I don't even know if I should be talking about the movie, because I think we
well, in fact, there's a scene about Gus, you know, like,
no, I don't.
He's like, kill me.
No.
Don't cut my leg off. You know, he's like, you ain't taking my legs, you know?
Yeah.
And then Matt, they took your legs.
They took him. Sons of guns. Anyway, so that's my story for Lonesome Dove. I can't
ever watch it again.
I think I don't have any.
I don't know if you need to drive home tonight. Like, maybe you need to stay here.
It is pretty icy out there.
Yeah. All right. Wow. That got deep.
Wow.
Not really deep.
Yeah. So
it's just a story.
Number 3, Miami Vice.
The old Miami Vice.
There's only one Miami Vice TV show.
No.
Yeah.
There's a new one.
There's a new one.
No, there was a new movie.
No, it's a TV show.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
You're about to have a new favorite.
No, I'm not.
No.
Yeah, it's
remakes are good.
No. I might cover them on my top.
Well, I'll just tell you right now, there may be 1 or 2, but there's not many. Get some new ideas out there, folks. But the original Miami Vice was awesome. And it came up a year or 2 ago on some streaming service, reminding me how good it was. It's just stinking awesome. I want to get a shoulder harness for a sidearm and, the letter, just walk around with one of those things. Like, even the sound of the gun, the sound effect they used for his gun firing was awesome. Like, different. But no, it was something like that.
That was close. It's kind of like the difference between GIF and GIF.
Pew, pew.
Yeah, they're the same because I'm right on both. Pew, pew, pew. So anyway, that's my top 3. Seinfeld, Lonesome Dove, Miami Vice. Seinfeld far and above better than any show that you're going to have on any of your lists.
I would tend to agree with that. I love Seinfeld, and I didn't put it on my list because I knew it would be your number one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just giving a little variety here.
If I'd have gone first, though, it would have been my number one, probably. Hey! And then you would have had to change your number one.
I mean,
it's a great show.
Whatever. I would give it about what I would give the ratio of Seinfeld fans to not Seinfeld fans in here, 2 out of 3.
There you go.
Whatever.
It's okay. Don't ever watch Lonesome Dove again. All right.
You don't have to worry about that.
TV shows. My top 3. I'm going to go with number 3. These all have sentimental value as well.
Oh, so they're not good. They're just...
Well, no, they are good.
Okay.
So the third one is Merlin. Ever seen it?
No.
I know about the character, the wizard.
It's kind of like a sci-fi fantasy version.
Is it new?
No, it came out in 2006, I believe.
It's new.
Ran from 2006 to 2008 to 2012.
Like on ABC or something, or was
BBC.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you right now.
British.
Kudos. Like there's a lot of good British shows out there. So yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on this, even though I don't know what I'm talking about. But you're probably barking up the right tree.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's about King Arthur and Merlin in their younger years, and they're friends, and it's just how they kind of meet up.
So it's sentimental because you were friends with King Arthur?
It's sentimental because no, I'm not that old, Chet.
Okay.
It's sentimental because I used to watch it when my oldest, who is now 10, was not even 1 yet. So my wife would be at work, and I would have to watch the baby, and I would binge watch Merlin.
Okay. Oh, because it was on a streaming service.
It was on. Because
I'm about to say, you said 2006, and the math wasn't adding up.
No, we didn't watch it when it was on. I watched it on Netflix.
I got you.
So my daughter's 10 now, so 9 years ago.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, it's really good. It's family friendly, good show.
Yeah.
So I couldn't watch these other two with her sitting in my lap.
Okay.
Just wouldn't feel.
I am starting to notice a trend, however.
What's that?
Anything that you like, I have either never seen
or heard about.
I mean, this is
I'm bringing knowledge to your life.
Yes, you are definitely on the spectrum, outer spectrum of things that I've heard about. What is it, Merlin?
Merlin.
Yeah.
Is that how it's pronounced? I just want to make sure I get it right,
Yeah.
Chet. But okay.
Yeah, so Merlin was a wizard who helped King Arthur through all his troubles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then number 2 is How I Met Your Mother.
Ooh, that's a good one. Now I can get behind that one.
It is hysterical.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's really funny. It is. They do bring some of that
not
drama stuff that Seinfeld didn't bring in.
Every show does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But Seinfeld.
But it was good because he was trying to How I Met Your Mother. He's telling the story of how he met his wife, and it goes on for 8 seasons,
which makes me think the way it ended in season 8 was not how the writers had originally intended it to end, because they didn't think they were going to have that long of a run, so they had to kind of make it up on the fly.
I would
Matt
agree with
and
that.
all his lists and stuff that he didn't prepare for.
Some of the best things are on the fly.
That's right.
Obviously.
But they wrapped it up really good, and so my wife turned me on to it. That's why it's sentimental to me. We both got sick on our honeymoon, and she just happened to pack the DVDs because it's her favorite show ever. And we watched the whole season, laying in bed while we were sick on our honeymoon. So
that's the perfect way to spend a honeymoon.
In bed.
Legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
Nice. And number 1, the best. It doesn't compare with Seinfeld because they're in totally different.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you don't have to. I'm not going to come across the table at you. Go ahead. You, maybe Matt, but not you.
But for drama series, like in best written show ever,
St. Elsewhere,
Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Breaking Bad is good.
It is like it's the best show I think I've ever seen in my life. And I have a good friend of mine who kind of lived that life and, went to prison for it and got out of prison, turned his life around. And we were talking one day about the show, and I said, I watched, episode 1 and 2, just can't really get into it. And he said, well, if you were really want to know what that life, the meth life is like, that show is the truest thing that you'll ever be able to see.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it then.
Yeah.
And so I watched, after you get past like episode 3 or 4, you can't stop watching it.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
It's an addicting show.
Yeah.
Much like the drug that they portray.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Walter White.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, you're missing out. It's really good.
I'm not saying, I'm like, I just hadn't seen it. And then now it's like there's so many episodes that I'm not even going to bother.
It's called binge watching.
Well, if you ever bring a DVD player to the deer camp,
yeah,
it'd be a good one to have out there. So
okay, all right,
all right.
That is a good deer camp movie.
Yeah,
or series.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. Well, good deal, man. Matt.
Well, again, I came completely unprepared, and you did take one of my series.
Merlin.
It definitely wasn't Merlin. No, I thought How I Met Your Mother was a fantastic series, and so I would completely agree there. Yeah, extremely funny, and I was able to binge watch that a lot due to various injuries and sitting and watching. So
because I Lonesome Dove.
Possibly.
Yeah.
We can't pin everything on Lonesome Dove. And I don't know how many times I can actually say that and get away with it. So let's just knock it off.
Drop it.
Okay.
Drop it. I'm going to say my number one favorite TV show, now that I'm doing it on the fly because Troy took my stuff. I'm going to have to go with number one, The Office.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Because it's a series that I can, no matter what episode it is, I can pop into it and watch it and be completely entertained no matter how many times I've seen it.
I agree.
Because I pick up on something new every time I watch it.
Yeah.
And
the casting decisions in that show.
Epic.
Yeah.
And I know that there's some fans of the UK version.
Yeah.
And I've tried to watch that and I just can't get into it as much, even though Ricky Gervais is hilarious. I mean, he's extremely funny. But that, and what gets me again is the pranks that in that relationship between Jim and Dwight.
Yeah.
That is the funniest thing that, I mean, my favorite is when he comes in acting like he's Dwight.
Yeah.
And he sits down, he bought the watch and he goes, put this whole outfit together for
Beats Battlestar Galactica.
$11,
Yeah.
Wait, what are you doing? And then they get something, Jim, or he's going to the,
Michael. Yeah.
Michael. So that to me is just, it's classic TV that I can always watch no matter what.
Yeah.
My number two is probably going to be Dexter.
Oh, that's a good one.
I really wish that they had continued because that's one of the shows that I really thought didn't decline with age.
It's coming back.
It's what I don't know.
It's coming back.
I mean, Showtime's still.
No, I think it's coming back.
I've heard rumors, but I haven't seen anything concrete. Yeah. But psychological thriller, I guess, is probably what that would be classified as. Mm-hmm. And those type of stories really interest me, getting into the mind and the psyche of those characters. And, here he is, he's a bad guy, but he's also a vigilante, right? So very interesting series to me.
I saw the whole first season, but that's all I could get to. And I haven't been able to go back, but it was phenomenal.
And it only gets better. Now there's a couple seasons obviously that aren't as good as some others, but overall,
because there's like 8 seasons, isn't there?
Yeah, I think there's 8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seinfeld had 9 seasons. All of them are good. No bad ones.
South Park's got 22 seasons. I mean,
went out on top. Didn't do it for the money. Keep going, man. Dexter. Couple bad seasons in the middle. Yeah, go ahead.
Whatever. So my number 3 is going to be a new addition to the list because it's a recent series.
Yep.
Here it comes.
Cobra Kai.
Yes, I knew it.
Yeah.
So,
and it is very good.
It's fantastic.
I mean, everybody that I tell about that show doesn't believe me in the beginning.
I was one of them.
I'm not going to watch.
I was one of them. I heard you guys talking about it, and you were like, you got to. I'm like, nah, it's not going to be that good.
When I heard it was coming out on YouTube and you had to buy YouTube Red to watch it, I signed up.
I did too.
Before it came out, I was ready for it.
I was too.
And when it started, and it was,
and I was thinking, you guys are crazy.
The end of the Karate Kid, the original movie, it started with the end of that. It's like, oh, this is phenomenal.
Yeah,
it brings me back to my childhood.
Well, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, and so growing up, obviously the Rocky series, are some of my top series.
Karate Kid,
and then Karate Kid. I mean, but I would have to say overall, probably all-time favorite, which is another top 3 list, but Karate Kid.
Yeah.
So being able to watch that and then have 2 of the original actors come back,
dude,
and
phenomenal,
continue that story, and then the writing is phenomenal. I mean,
it's unbelievable. I'm with you on that. Like, I don't think there has been better lockstep to canon. Is that what you Star Wars guys call it?
Call it canon, yeah. Kathleen Kennedy screwed all that up.
Like they are on the same wavelength as the people that made the movie back in the 80s. Yeah, I mean those writers are fantastic.
I believe it's the same writer that wrote the original.
I don't know if it is.
I think it is.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is. So that he's had.
I think they're younger. We're gonna have to look that up.
Leave a comment
who's
below
that?
if you know.
Who's that fact checker?
Huh?
We need a Jamie.
Jamie.
Fact check that. But I think it is one of the original writers.
Yeah.
And so, he's had 34 years of thinking about.
I'm telling you, it's
if I were going to continue this, how would I continue
the dialogue, the story,
and I mean, now I've gotten into debate, with people on Karate Kid because they think that Daniel was the original bully, and they've tried to twist the
that
roles.
came from How I Met Your Mother. Have you seen that episode?
I did, yeah. Where
it had to have been around before. They didn't invent it.
I don't know.
I never saw the argument that Daniel was the bad guy until that episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Right.
What is his name?
Neil Patrick Harris's character.
No, Johnny.
Oh,
Lawrence.
William Zebka.
Yeah. So
he was in the episode.
Yeah, he was. He was in the episode.
So was Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were both in the How I Met Your Mother episode.
Yep.
But William was Johnny. He was a clown, and he was in disguise the whole time. And when Barney comes to learn that it was really Johnny the whole time, the real Karate Kid, it's an epic scene when he finds out who it is.
The series, fantastic. I can't wait for season 3.
Yep. Which should be dropping any day.
Yeah.
Or may have already. If it's already dropped, I'm going to be upset.
Okay.
Because I could have binge watched it already. But season 3, now they're bringing back people from the original, the second Karate Kid. So
when they went to Okinawa,
he's got Kamiko, and then he's got Chosen coming back, which I'm really excited to see.
Because he's dead to Uncle Sato.
And I think
that's right.
And I think they're going to bring back Allie.
That was my next question. Do you think Elizabeth Shue is going to show up?
I think she's going to show up.
You are dead.
And now, to me, you are dead.
I love that. That 2 was just as good as 1, in my opinion. They're fantastic movies.
Great.
And I thought 3 was just as good as 1.
Yeah.
3 was good too. Yeah.
But I was telling somebody earlier, and now we're getting back to movies and not TV shows, but the original Karate Kid, the first time I showed my daughter that movie, because I was so excited, when my kids are old enough to start enjoying some of these movies that I watched growing up, and it's hit and miss with my kids on what they enjoy watching.
Yeah.
So when I put on the Karate Kid, I mean, I had total focus the entire time. And when Daniel kicked Johnny in the face, the squeal that came out of my daughter was absolutely epic.
Proud dad moment.
And I knew that she appreciated that as much as I do. So, Cobra Kai season 3, 2, 1, all of them.
Fantastic.
Exceptional.
I'm with you on that.
So the writer of the original Karate Kid was Robert Mark Kamen. And the writer, there's like 10 writers for Cobra Kai.
There's two primary ones. I watched an interview with them, and they were younger.
Jason Belleville and Stacy Harmon. So I don't know.
Show creators or whatever.
But Robert Mark Kamen's name is in with the writers. So he is definitely on set.
I knew that there was somebody there from the original.
Well, another way that Troy could say,
just call me Jamie.
What he could say with that was Chet and Matt are both right.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you want to be hard-headed about it.
It could be GIF or GIF.
I'm being realistic.
Practical and realistic.
All right.
Very good.
That is
top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3.
Let's take a break. Maybe.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Yeah, that was great. What'd you guys do on your break? It's pretty good to have you back in the studio.
Nod your head.
Yeah.
Did you
Cornholio
take care of everything you needed to bathroom wise? Because I think during this portion last time you had a quick exit from.
I did.
What happened there?
I drank a large beverage before I came in to the podcast, and it caught up with me real quick.
Okay. Well, at least
if you watched on YouTube, and in case some of y'all didn't know, if you're just listening, we do have a YouTube channel, and you can watch this being filmed.
Yes.
In the podcast booth. But if you go back and watch that, I'm fidgeting quite a bit.
You're dancing.
Because I was really trying to get through that.
And it was not going to happen.
And we were just getting in good conversation. And I did excuse myself, though.
I'm out.
I mean, it was quick. And if I remember right, you'd brought in some sushi or something.
There's questionable food.
It looked like gas station food.
It's not.
So I was concerned. So, but
delicious.
That's a quick weight loss program. It's like a gas station egg salad sandwich.
No, it was a large, they call them Route 44s. I'm not going to name the name of the business, but they're make really large drinks. Yeah.
Okay.
So
but you're clear. We're good. We're good to proceed.
Let's proceed.
Okay. So now we are with a good word, and this week's good word is coming from Mr. Chet.
All right. So one of the ways that we met each other is I married Troy's sister, and which has nothing to do with this, but that's how I met you. But Matt,
true story.
You kind of came into the picture with some work we were doing through a mutual friend on veteran transition.
Yep.
Just helping veterans out. We had some cool projects that we did with that, and so anyway, my good word is kind of along those lines, and it was, you got battle buddies or whatever you call them that you really need to be plugged into a community. And so if you look at Ecclesiastes, it's a book in the Bible, Ecclesiastes chapter 4, starting in verse 9, it says, 2 are better than one because they have good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, the one can help the other up, but pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Which is fantastic, right? Making sure that you have somebody that you can go through life with that is there when you're going to fall, because I think there's times that we all struggle with something, and having somebody nearby that's with you, hold you accountable, can be there for you. It continues, this one's the fun one. If two lie, I'll just not say it. If two lie down together, they'll keep warm, but how can one keep warm alone? Marine, we got a Marine with us. But then it says, though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. So just the theme of not being alone, finding somebody to help you. And I know I was reading some stats just from our county, and the suicide rate is skyrocketed with a lot of the shutdowns and a lot of the pandemic stuff in general, and people being isolated. Mm-hmm. Now more than ever, if you're, hearing these words and you're thinking, yeah, well, that's so and so, or I'd count these people, this group that I'm with, or those people that fill that role of me not being alone because of these people. That's great. That's fantastic. But if you're also a person that's hearing this and saying, "Man, I wish I had somebody," I don't have anybody in that role. Take some initiative and reach out and find somebody and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" Rekindle that relationship and see how things are going. Maybe they're in the same boat that you're in, and somebody just needs to take some initiative to reach out and make sure you have somebody with you so you can be stronger together. Have somebody there to help pick you up when you're having a bad day. So that's my good word. And it's fantastic advice. The Ecclesiastes, the book of the Bible, is written by King Solomon, who historically has been considered the wisest man to have ever lived up until that time. Mm-hmm. And so really strong words that I think we should all pay attention to.
Absolutely.
That's a good word, Chet.
That is a good word.
Well, thank you. That was my intent when I planned it out instead of going on the fly.
Well, maybe I'll do better next time, but I highly doubt it. I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
It's not going to happen.
Well, I feel like I need to urinate, so we are probably some outro
we just asked
music.
You like 2 minutes ago.
It literally on the timer has been like 3 minutes.
It's like, hey, Tinkle Bell.
Troy, we're going to change his name on the next one. Troy Tinklebell Trussell.
That's another good movie from my childhood. Peter Pan. There you go. I think movies was
not this episode.
Yeah,
but Matt really kind of went down a path.
I muddied the water a little bit,
which was okay, man, because we were all in agreement.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Until next time, I don't even know what to say.
I got it right here for you. Why don't you read this?
Hey.
Kick it.
Because I mean, obviously I didn't have it written down. I didn't have it planned. So Chet, thanks for the escape right here. So I'm gonna do my best because this isn't my forte.
Go for it.
All right. Thanks for listening to the I can't even read. That's a Marine thing. Thanks for listening to Hardheaded. Feel free to leave your top threes in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube if you'd like to watch the show. Also, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because that really helps us get the word out about the show.
Fantastic. Great job, Matt.
Thanks. All right.
That was awesome.
Play me out.
You really do have to pee again?
Oh, he's out.